Hello everybody, Dokkan Assets here. Today we are back with another rebuilding the assets video, changing it up yet again as I apparently like to do with this series. Originally we were building specific assets, then we were building some scenes, and today we're going to spice it up by rebuilding a board or a stage. I don't really know what you would technically call this, but basically, you know how you have the little Monopoly board in Dokkan, right? We're going to take all these pieces today and make them back into what they originally are, which I'm sure most of you can tell is Kami's lookout. I almost called it Kami's castle for some reason. I know this is basically just like a big puzzle, and this is probably not that complicated of rebuilding the assets thing. It's even less complicated than the, rebuilding the scenes, and even less complicated, well, I guess less complicated than that, and also obviously less complicated than rebuilding specific assets. But I wanted to do this anyway. I got the idea from when I was reposting assets that were already downloaded on JP and retweeting them to them, put them in the mega thread for the global data download, and I was like, hey, I could make a video out of that. So here we are, basically. I want to do this just because I think it'll look cool as like one completed piece, and I don't think I've ever seen anyone actually like do this before where they've posted just the complete piece, because as you can see, these stages are comprised of a bunch of different pieces, and they do it that way so obviously the file size is a lot smaller than like one giant image, because these images individually look kind of small, especially on this canvas, but they're huge. Let me show you this. This is a 1080p frame right here. This is 1080 or 920 by 1080, and that's how big one of them is. So these images are actually super big. That's why we have this giant canvas here to be able to rebuild it. Obviously this canvas is a little bit bigger than what we need, but we'll just be resizing it and fixing it up that way. So yeah, that's what we're going to be doing for today's video. I hope you guys enjoy it. I would definitely love to be able to do, by the way, our reference image is literally just an actual image of Kami's lookout, because I could not find an image of one from Dokkan, but hey, we work with what we can do. I know this is going to be more of a simple video, but I figured that, it'd still be fun to do. And again, I mean, content is content, I suppose. I still want to, make something out of it if I can. So it is what it is, I suppose. I don't really have a good way of going about this, I'm going to be honest. I suppose let's move our pieces to the side here. This will probably also be a little bit of a shorter rebuilding the assets, because I know usually when it comes to these videos, they tend to be a little bit longer, but obviously this is basically just like you're essentially just watching me build a puzzle, is essentially what's happening here, and then doing a small couple of adjustments. But again, I really wanted to rebuild this because I thought this would look so cool as one piece again. I don't know if anybody could necessarily use this for a project or whatnot, because I know a lot of you guys always tweet me like, hey, I was able to use your assets for this or that project or whatever it may be. So I don't know, we'll see. Maybe I'll even do something with this. I could see some, I don't know, maybe like a cool layout or something coming out of this. It is also weird. I think that's just a Photoshop thing, but it looks like the image isn't actually lined up here. But if we take a little zoom here, you can see that it's actually zoomed in. It also kind of looked like, where did that go? If we yeah, right there, it looks like the image is actually split apart. But if we zoom in, it's perfectly together. Interesting. Yeah, because if we click, we should be able to see. Yeah, the line goes right there. But let's zoom in so we're like pixel perfect here. Literally pixels apart. Yeah. That literally merges together perfectly. Interesting. It must just be the way that Photoshop like renders what is actually on the screen, just so it's probably easier for the viewer to look at, I suppose, or also probably more so easier for the computer to be able to see what's going on with the computer. This is going to kind of be unfortunate, but I guess we don't really need it. The thing that stinks about working far out with smaller images is that you always tend to accidentally click on this little guy right here, which is basically the centerpiece of what this will rotate around. But if we zoom in just a little bit, it's not that big of a deal. Also, by the way, I'm sure that you've probably noticed by now, we are actually rocking today the full screen setup, because I know now you can see all my little icons at the bottom before. I was just recording the Photoshop screen basically, and now I have my full screen recorded because then I can show you you know, more of what this process actually looks like, you know, having that reference image. Whoops, didn't mean to go in that way. Having the reference image just sitting right there, you know, me looking at other things if I need to, so on and so forth with that. These pieces do fit together super nicely though. The nice thing about doing a rebuild like this is that it's a lot more simple than, you know, trying to eyeball something like, you know, whenever we like rebuild an asset from the ground up and we're trying to like figure out, you know, where all the pieces particularly go, or if we're trying to rebuild a scene, it can't really be perfect. But finally, I can scratch my itch and make this like literally perfect. All I have to do is just slap the pieces together and build this giant puzzle. It's still making me paranoid that whenever I look at this, it's not completely together, but if it snaps like that, it should be together. I think I'm going to stop worrying about the individual ones and just, you know, kind of let it be for now. Grab this, throw it over here. I would like to, though, bro, I literally can't speak. I would like to, though, do a bunch of these more in the future, because not only are they kind of fun to do, I mean, again, it's literally just like building a puzzle, essentially. I would like to do these just because I think that they'll look super cool, to be honest with you. I know that I have posted a Tournament of Power one before. I've posted... Ooh, okay, that definitely doesn't go there. Maybe the puzzle's going to be a little bit more difficult than I thought. I know I posted a couple of these before. The thing is that by the time I started data mining Dokkan, because you got to understand how this aspect of it works. By the time I started data mining Dokkan, a lot of these specific assets were already in the game, and so most of the time, unless like either I get a bunch of requests for it, or sometimes I know once in a while I'll do a day where I'm like, hey, you know, does anybody want any specific assays? Because sometimes I know that people like to just kind of get their requests taken like that. Most of the time what I'll do is I'll just post anything that's new, and Dokkan hasn't really updated their maps or their stages, whatever you would want to call it, in quite some time, because I suppose they don't really need to. I mean, these assets are pretty high quality, so it's not as necessary, I guess. So that's why I usually don't post these unless Dokkan decides to, you know, make a new version of this or add a new version of it or something like that. Like this was added when all of the Boo Saga stuff happened. I think it was added on JP during Gotenks, if I'm not misremembering that. And so again, it was like a revamped version of what do you call it, of this stage. So that's why it got posted. I'll have to look back through the files sometime and see if I can't get more of these, because they are super cool. And obviously being able to, you know, rebuild them like this and get the original image is also super sick. You could maybe even do, I don't know, you could probably do some pretty creative stuff with this. I would assume you could probably like build your own like maps or something with this. I don't know. You guys are the creative brain out here when it comes to rebuilding the assets type stuff. Also, I have no idea how we ended up with a big hole in the middle, but I think it'll work out nicely. This one obviously goes here. It's nice that Photoshop also just kind of has the feature to pop everything in there. All right, I think that's it. Let's see. Is there any piece unaccounted for? We're gonna get rid of this for now. So let's do this. We're gonna have this in the middle. We're gonna click to make sure every single layer is attached to the piece. And then I think we're honestly pretty much done. It would be kind of interesting. I don't know if I've actually ever posted the assets that are like the little places on the map that like you land on a particular, you know, stage or whatever it may be. That would be kind of cool though to see some of you guys. What do we got? Oh, this is just a blank layer. Got it. It would be cool to see some of you guys like make your own stages or something like that. But this is the perfect put together stage. I like this a lot. Let's just kind of zoom in and examine the detail, because since these images are so high quality, right? I mean, well, okay. Ironic that we zoomed in that much and it got a little pixely, but considering Dokkan's usual card assets, you know, this is a pretty nice looking piece, if I do say so myself. I mean, I'm sure you could use this in some other kind of edit, and of course, you're not meant to see it, like, completely up close. Of course, there's a little bit of, you know, like, kind of, I don't know what you would call it, just, like, wavy looking and kind of, like, a little bit raggedy lines, and this is obviously, like, one full piece, so, you know, it's all on the specific image, but of course, you know, we're looking at this super close up. Ah! There is a little bit of tearing there, unless we're just gonna get bamboozled when we zoom in again. I suppose I'll have to see. No, okay, that actually is a little bit apart. I suppose once I save the image as well to actually post it tomorrow before this video goes up, I'll also make sure that there's no tearing here. A little bit interesting though, it didn't seem to perfectly snap it into place with some of these. Like you just saw that looked a little bit uneven. Now it looks okay though. Obviously, these little, like, ridges are just kind of going to be there, unfortunately. Yeah, see, looking at this one looks a little bit uneven, but that's literally just on the actual image itself. Interesting. All right, well, that is going to do it for this episode of Rebuilding the Assets. I know it was basically just me talking and, you know, essentially watching me put a puzzle together. Yeah, look at that, bro. See? I don't understand. Alright, well, nonetheless, though, I hope you guys enjoyed. I will definitely do more of these in the future. I just kind of wanted to do a test run of this type of video to see if you guys would enjoy it or if you'd wanted me to do more of these. Maybe what I could do is, since this was such a simple video, I could do like a bunch of maps in the future if you guys would like me to do this. I know that you guys really like the KO screens because those are kind of more like wallpapers when it comes down to it. And obviously with the specific assets, I know people can use those for different projects and thumbnails and stuff like that. But nonetheless, I hope you guys still enjoyed this video. I know I most certainly did. This is actually a pretty clean render. I'm not gonna lie. I really, really like this. I might end up using this in like a Twitter banner or something. Ooh, actually, that's a pretty good use for this. Anyway, enough rambling on my end. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you'd like to download the full high-quality image of this, it will be in the description below, as well as to go follow Dokkan Assets as well. I'll probably make a specific video about it, but thank you guys so much for 10K. We recently hit 10,000 followers on the Dokkan Assets account, which is absolutely crazy. So sorry, I was looking at the monitor. Now I'm looking at you. So thank you so much for that. Anyway, I will catch you guys in the next one. Thank you so much. Dokkan Assets out.